Okay, guys, we'll get started for today. Now, the thing we're going to learn today is we're just going to practice a few more CSS attributes, okay? So that you guys can have like an easy time making this whatever the Nestle website, right? Just a minute, I'll delete this folder. Folder I don't want to get confused. And if that's also and say code. Yeah, this is good. And okay, let's get started. I'll go live. And the thing is, as you all know, there are so many HTML attributes, and all these HTML attributes, I mean CSS attributes, whatever HTML attributes or CSS styles, that it gets difficult to keep track of all of these, right? So the thing we do, uh, on recording, yeah, I think Manasa has that covered. Manasa, you're recording, right? He- Let me. Yeah, okay, she's recording. Great. Okay, so as we have so many styles and so many ways to apply these styles, HTML attributes, and all of these, we have documentation. Okay, there is one good documentation called MDN Docs. This is I don't remember, Mozilla Developer Network or something. Yeah, Mozilla Developer Network. It is. I the name anywhere, but okay. So this is one good place to find everything you need. If you go to CSS, you can see CSS text styling, and in this you'll see a lot of okay, styling list, styling links, fundamental text and font styling. You can just scroll through here and learn everything. But a simpler version of this is W3 schools. Okay, let's go here, go to CSS, and you can see all of these right now. The thing we're going to learn is yeah, the box model. Box model, everybody remembers, right? So we have our content here. We have the padding, there's the border and margin. This is the heart, the fluid, the box, and place between boxes. Okay, so we remember that pretty good. And display. Now, if you remember, we know about block elements and inline elements, right? Block element means it is a greedy element. It will take up all your space. And inline element means it is a like normal element which won't take up all the space that is available. It will only take how much space it needs, right? And then we have So this is important. This is important. This is important. And we never use this, right? So we learn grid, inline block, all these things you don't need. They're basically the same as flex. Okay. Overriding the default and all of this. Fine. Mm. Yeah, the thing is, we actually learned most of this. Yeah, line block. This is clear examples. Math function. Important. Yeah, I didn't tell you guys about important, right? So if you guys remember, we have a hierarchy in CSS applying. That is, first of all, we have the inline styling is very, very important. So this is 3 stars. And then we have internal, which is 2 stars. And then we have external, which is 1 star. That is, inline is always given the highest priority. Okay. Internal is given the next highest priority, and external is given the least priority. Now, if one element has all these three, one element has all these three, and I want to make external to be the style that is applied to that element, what I do is I'll write my styling like this. For example, let's say we selected H1, and in H1, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say uh, color column white. Okay, this is code. And let me just move this here. Okay, so if I say color is white in .css file, okay, so this is the .css file. I could underline that, but I don't know how to. But fine. So what I do is I write one more attribute here called not important. Okay, not. It's kind of funny that you have to write it like this, but what you do is where's it? Yeah, you write this. It says not important, but it is important. Okay, this symbol is read as not in programming, but you say not important to make this one important. That is how it works. Okay, so it's kind of weird when you first look at it, but you'll slowly get used. Okay, so you're basically going to tell that this is not important, and it'll make this one important. That is what they're exactly saying here. Okay, so it'll make this one more important than anything else, any other style. Okay. Okay. I already told you about the units, right? So it's px, em, all these things. Yeah, we know Vmax, Vmin, VHVW, percentage. We didn't talk about EX and CH because they're not usually used. EM is not recommended, so we don't use that. And website layout. Yeah, so this is like a general website layout that is better that you know. First of all, we have the header. This is skipped in most of the websites. Okay, so people don't use headers nowadays. They just use the navigation menu directly. So we have a navigation menu, and under that, we'll have just the main content. Okay, nowadays people are changing this, but if you have something, it is called content on the right, and the center one is called the main content, then the footer. Okay, we have a header and all of this. Yeah, this is not so important. Look how these guys built the nav bar. Is they made overflow hidden. Okay, this is not really required. Okay, then we have float left, display block. So they use block styling, but what people use in the real world or even in the modern world, I'll say, like really now in the industry, is float. Most people use float. It's not like you won't see block styling or grid styling and things like that or box model. You will see them, but float is like more common nowadays. Okay. Text align center, padding 1614, and text direction none or decoration none. So they made a simple website here. That is fine. We have CSS counter. Are they at? No. At forms? Okay. They're just telling you how to file a form. Okay. So today I'll teach you something known as CSS pseudo selectors. Okay. I didn't tell you this previously, but I'll tell you now. I'm going to teach you something known as CSS. Sorry. Uh, CSS pseudo select pseudo selectors. Yeah. So now the thing is, we already know what CSS selectors are, right? So now what is CSS pseudo selector is that there is some condition on the tag that you want to select. For example, if there is a h1 tag and I want to select that, how do I select this? How do I select this is I write h1 and I'll select it, right? But now what a CSS pseudo selector does is it will have a colon here and it will say something like hover. Okay. Now what does this mean? It means oh, it means that whenever this h1 tag is hovered on, this styling will be active. So now let's look at what that means. Let me increase the font size. I'll make a h1 here and I'll name it Shaukat. Oh, sorry, I need to give a style tag right first. Style tag and I'll say h1. And I'll say color is red by default. The color is going to be red. And whenever he is going to hover, the color needs to be blue. Colon. See, you have a list that comes here. You can go down, 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 and hover. Yeah, this is the one you're going to select. You can just write it, but I was just too lazy to. You know, if I hover on this, okay, what is happening? Why is nothing happening? Let's see. Maybe there's no space. I'm not sure. I think somebody raised a hand, but let's see. Yeah, that is H1. Let's see if this will work. Okay, now it is working. And if I give H1 color red, now also it should work, right? Okay, now it is working. If I give this on top, why is it not? Let's see. Good. Okay, I just had to reload once more. That's it. I didn't write anything wrong. It's just that I didn't uh, do something like this. Okay, so there are tons of pseudo selectors, if you see. And if I go like this, colon space, leave double colons and only look at single columns. Okay. So active. This means that particular tag is active. I mean, it is being actively edited by the user. For example, active is something that you use only for input tags. Okay. Mm, yeah. Let's do one thing. I'll show you why we use the active tag or pseudo selector. Sorry, not tag. If you have an input of type text array, text ID is okay. Whatever. I just tabbed out for ChatGPT, and now I'm going to select input tag when it is active, and I'll say that the background color is going to be gold. Okay. If I go here, reload, and I click here, you can see that when I click, it is active. Okay. When I click, it is active, but when I leave it, it's not active, right? So that is what we use active pseudo selector for. And then what else do we have? Space, colon, space. Let's look at this. Mm, blank. Okay. That means whenever it is blank, it will be no, not that. I also don't know all of these, but decrement current checked. Okay. Okay. You guys should be able to say why checked is used, right? Radio buttons. Let's go here. And this will have some text like hello. Then breathe through three. If I click on this, mm, okay, style height 10 pixels. Okay. 100 pixels. Okay. Click on this. Okay. Why is nothing happening? Not here. Anyways, I think it is used for checked only, but oh yeah, check means checkbox. No, why did I give sorry guys, my bad. Yes, yes. Uh checked, and this is going to be checkbox, not radio. Flash. Okay, my bad. Again. No. See, now if I click on this, why is the background color not okay? Not sure what is happening there. We'll look it up. What's there? Uh, check. What is it used for? Okay. Deep pink. Easy. Oh, okay. Good. Let's look at a few more on space. So we'll have like these different states for a tag, right? For example, it is clicked or not, it is active or not, it is maybe empty or not, something like that, right? So when we have things like that and we want to do conditional styling, that is when we use pseudo selectors. Okay, it's pretty simple. I hope you guys also understood without any doubts. But if you have doubts, please do let me know. Please stop me and let me know. Okay. Let's go to W3 schools again. Yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory. You guys can look at that. Gradients is something that we really want. Okay. For example, if you go to weareindemocracy.org, you can see a nice gradient from here till here, right? So what is a gradient is a color shift. Okay. So at the start, it will be some color. In this case, it is almost pink. Okay. Here in this region, it is almost pink. And as you go here, it is becoming deep purple, right? So how do we do that is here. Now, let's say I have a div again. Okay. For everything, you can basically use a div as an example. Okay. For this style is going to be height 500 pixels, width is going to be 500 pixels, and the background color. Here we are going to write linear, oh, sorry, gradient. Oh no, wait, I totally forgot how we. Okay, we give linear gradients as images. Sorry, not color, image. And if you hit control space, you'll get gradient, linear gradient. And here you are going to give two colors as input. Okay. So now what is a linear gradient is this. Okay, I'll show you a radial gradient. From that, you'll understand what a linear gradient. Where is the radial gradient? Mm, oh yeah, there it is. Radial gradient. See, radial gradient is where you have a color starting at the center and it goes out almost like a circle or a sphere, okay, or a ellipse. Sorry, circle or a ellipse. So that is radial, and linear basically is it goes line by line. See, here we're going line, 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 and changing the colors. But here we are going circle, 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 and then change color, right? So this is what we want. Here you give 2, and in radial you give 3. Okay, that is one big difference. And in conic maybe you give 4, no 3 only. Okay, 3. Yeah, it's like optional. You don't have to give 3. Okay, you can give at least 2 colors for radial, and same at least 2 for this one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to give red here, comma, yellow for our div. Sorry, spelling mistake. Um, Yellow. Let's go here. Reload. Let's see. If you, yeah, the height is too much. 50 pixels and width is 100 pixels. Yeah. See, now what happened? Here it is red, but here it is yellow. Now, I know it looks kind of weird just having red and yellow, but when you have a nice brand color, like We Are in Democracy does, you'll get a very nice effect. Okay, it's not that steep of a change. For example, pink and purple are related colors, right? So that is one thing. You can make this go black and this go white. It'll give you like a very nice effect. See, it's almost fading away. You could use this as a background for something, Japanese samurai kind of a. But the good, the best way for me to use a gradient is never to use it on a div, but use it on a body tag. Now, what this will do is you don't need height and width. If you reload, see, this looks very, very good, right? So this is like some professional website. Once you have this gradient going on, as you keep scrolling, this gradient will stay there. Okay, so that is the best way to use gradients for me, at least. Okay, it depends on you really. You can even shift to a radial gradient and do the same thing. Let me just do that and change from black. See, if you give 3 colors, the great thing you can do is you can give a middle color. If you look at this, white to yellow to black, but I don't want this. I want something that looks like this. Now, if I reload and make this also a little bit darker, this one a little bit more dark, it'll be good, but it's not that good. Okay, I tried something, but it didn't work out fine. Okay, this looks good. Now, that is one thing you can learn. And then we have, wait, I missed one. Shadows. What are shadows? This second line of text that you see is the shadow. Okay, text shadow here effect. If you select, the original one is selected, but you see both of them, right? That is how you. That is what a shadow means, and it's very simple. You just say text shadow, and it's very easy. Uh, it's literally this, and there are 4 attributes to this. If you see max, what are the attributes? Let's see. 2 pixels is the width of the shadow, and 2 pixels. Oh, sorry. 2 pixels is the x offset. So it is how much your shadow will travel in x-axis. So if I have a capital H here, and I also have a capital H here, see, this is what I have. And if I keep editing my first number, it will keep going rightward. And if I keep editing my first number, it will keep going downward. Okay, so that is the 2 attributes that we're using. First one is the x-axis attribute of the shadow. Second one is the y-axis attribute of the shadow. And then we have the text color. Okay, shadow color, sorry, not text. And then we have, okay, this is just a black shadow. So it looks a little bit different than normal text if you see. This is just color and stuff. Yeah, pretty basic. You can figure this out on your own. And then we have box shadow. Box shadows are also pretty easy. Box shadow and x-axis, y-axis attribute. That's it, done. And then we have color pretty easy. Okay, you can figure that out. Text effects. Yeah, now this is something very, very important. Text overflow. What happens when your text gets out of your div? For example, I have a div that is of style, height 100 pixels, width 200 pixels, and I'm going to have a h1 inside this that is going to give lorem ipsum. Okay, now if I go here, what is happening? My div, I'll give a background color to my div so that you can see what is happening. Background color is going to be blue. Okay, now if you see, this is my div, but my text is going outside. Okay, if this text is placed in horizontal direction, it is going outside. So what is it doing? It is trying to fit that in my div, and when it overflows, okay, so it is not fitting, so it will come out. When it comes out, it is trying to push it down, right? That is what we'll control with text overflow. Now what I'll do is I'll use the text dash overflow option, and then we have clip, which means it'll cut the text until it fits the div. For example, if I go here and now reload, what is happening? Why didn't it work? Did I do something wrong? Okay, something seems weird. I'll just close and open again. Okay, why didn't clip work? Not sure. Let's see. What does clip do? Yeah, this is what it does, right? That I'm pretty sure about, but I'm not sure why it didn't work. Hmm. Oh yeah, I think this is supposed to go for the H1 tag. Style text overflow clip. No, right? Then what is wrong? Let's see. Okay, so we have H1 test 1. Okay, this is good. And let's change this p tag to H1. Maybe it's not working because I have H1 tag, right? That might be the case. Ah, okay. This can't be a H1. This needs to be a P, it seems. I also just learned that, so don't ask me why. No, that is also not working. Okay, something is wrong. Text overflow. I said clip. Overflow hidden. No, this is crazy. Okay, I'm supposed to say overflow hidden also. Got it. So we say text overflow clip and we say overflow hidden. Overflow hidden. Now it should work. Let's see. Oh, now we're also. I don't know what to do. Great. Mm, should overflow hidden. White space, no wrap. Mhm. Mhm. Not sure why that didn't. Okay. Wait, it didn't change to a P, right? Why didn't it change to a P? Not sure. Maybe it's not reloading. Why is it still a H1 for me? Okay, yeah. I'm zoomed in 500 per. Oh my god. Okay, fine. Uh, why didn't it work? Okay, not sure. Let's move on. Not waste time. Then we have font. You guys already know font, right? 2D transformation. 2D transformations. Okay, so this is actually interesting. Okay, let's try all of these. Okay, because these are fun things to do. We have 3D transformations also. Uh, this will probably see, but I have another thing planned for you in 3D. We'll do that. Okay, so 2D rotate is yeah, whatever. Now let's try this. Again, we need to create a div only anyways, but now that we have this div, what we'll do is we'll give this style and we'll say rotate. Okay, translate is the first one that I copied. 10, 10, 10. Okay, y is something wrong. What is wrong? Translate property individually and level transform. What is this man? Better to typical user interface users since it's having to that auto transformation functions to okay, I don't know what is happening. Let's go live again. What happened? Nothing happened. Why? Because I didn't give the parameters properly. Oh, I need to give transform translates. Sorry guys. I thought it's a style. Hmm. Did I see any change? No, honestly. 500 pixels, 1000 pixels maybe. And we'll see a change. No, I don't see any change. Okay, let's actually remove it from here. Oh, it is a style. That is what I did wrong. Okay. It is a style, but I have to give 50 pixels, 100 pixels. That's it. They gave external style, I mean internal styling, and I give like see now it changed. Okay, that is correct. Now let's change this from translate to rotate 20 degrees. We give it like that. Okay, rotate 45 degrees. So yeah, it rotated 45 degrees, right? And then we have scale, which is it will make it bigger. That's it. Scale, and I can give 5 maybe. 5 on both sides. So if you specify separately, it will do it on both. If you give only one, it will do on both sides. Okay, scale x, scale y functions. Oh, yeah, you guys probably don't know about scaling and stuff, right? Let me teach you that in a different software. You don't have to use Unity. Okay, you shouldn't use Unity. Okay, that is what I'm telling you. For now, in this course, don't use Unity. I'm just showing you what it means to scale. Okay, why do I need Unity? I'll just show in Blender. Okay, so see, I'll tell you what scale, translate, rotate, and all of these mean. It's pretty simple. Yeah, Blender, classic. Um, okay, now if I move this, yeah, this is the move. Okay, wait. If I move this is translation. Okay, and if I change the angle, that is, if I rotate this, then this is rotation. Okay, this is rotation about x, which means the x-axis will remain constant and it will rotate among x-axis. It's like you passed a rod through the square and you're rotating it around that rod. That rod is x-axis. So about x-axis and about y. Okay, let's make this 0 so that it's more clear. Okay, so this is about y. Y, like so if you see shawarma, you'll get a nice idea. Okay, so if you go to images, yeah, you see this thing, right, where they put a lot of chicken on a stick and they keep rotating it. So this chicken is rotating about this axis. Okay, is the axis of its rotation. And now Z is similar, but Z is this imaginary axis that passes from top to bottom. Okay, so that is pretty simple. And now scale means increasing or decreasing this object. See, I can keep scaling it up and down. The 0 again. Okay. So now we know that, but what is skewing? Let's see. We'll see what skewing is. In Blender, it's a bit difficult to demonstrate skewing, but Paint is a very good thing to demonstrate skewing. Okay, for example, if I have a square and I move only one vertex separately, oh, oh yeah, I say I have something that looks like this. Array. I hate Paint anyways. Okay, so let's just say this is a square. Okay, forget about whatever bends there are. Now, if I increase one side of this, okay, if I skew it like this or like this, so basically increasing the size of an object on one side is skewing. Okay, uh, skewing in 3D. Maybe I can show you a few examples to teach you. Uh, mm, okay, I'm not able to show you like nice examples, but you'll understand. Anyways, okay, so 3D transformations is just on three axes instead of two axes. Okay. Transitions. Okay, transitions. I won't teach you transitions. It's too complex. Keyframes and stuff. No, no, we don't want that. Yeah, tooltips is very important. Why? Tooltip is this text that you get. When you hover on something, you get some text, right? For example, if I hover here, I get brave shields. So something like that. How you do that is with this tile. Okay, it's a custom thing that you have to define. Okay, when you hover, you're going to get a tooltip, and that tooltip is defined here. Hover over me, and you'll get right yourself. And if I hover over here, I'm getting the tooltip text. Okay, but there is a default tooltip also. How to give a to anything on my website. I'm not sure if it's in HTML, but in uh, React, there is a thing called tooltip where you just say tooltip and it'll work. You don't need to give it custom styling, but I'm not sure if that will work in I mean CSS also. I mean HTML and CSS, not React and CSS. Okay, and then yeah, that is pretty much it. Yes. Not float, Flexbox. Now, this is a very good thing to teach you how Flex works. Let's say I just want yeah, display flex 1. If I give flex 5, what will happen? Let's see. Nothing will happen. Okay, so this is like a attribute that is not useful for us. It is useful for some other purposes, but for us, no. Mm, Now, what I want to do is I want to change this flex into row, column, sorry. Flex direction, column. I run now. What happened? My items were stacked like this, okay? One after another. Okay, so left to right. So the first one was here, second one was here, third one was here. As soon as I gave flex direction column, what happened? They came as a column. That is the first one under the sorry, the first one above something, and then the third one below that. So flex direction is used to control that. And then we have align dash items column center. What does this do? It aligns them vertically, right? So if I run it, wait, what? Justify dash content dash center. Okay. I understood what's going on, but did you guys understand? Let's see. If I do this, okay, nothing happened. But so if you guys see something weird happened, if I run only this, what happened? They were centered on the x-axis. Why? Let's see. If I give a row now and I run, what is happening? Okay, nothing happened actually. But if I run, it's the same thing. Okay, but what does our knowledge say? What does whatever I taught you till now say? It tells you that if you have align items center, what should happen? They should be centered on the y-axis, right? Because a line is like this, so the L goes like this. That is x-axis, right? So we are going to uh, the thing I told you is not applying to this. Why? Because I gave flex direction as column. They're being centered on the x-axis. Why? Let's see. Uh, let's have a parent div that is going to have a style of uh, height 100 view height and width 100 view width, background color to be black. And now I'm going to have three parent divs of style. Height is going to be 100 pixels, width is going to be 100 pixels, and background color will be white for one, and the other one will be red. The other one will be blue. The other one will be green. Let's just give them like complete colors. Okay, so I have these, and I want to define the body tag somewhere. Body tag, style, margin 0, padding 2. Looks good. Now, what is the flex direction by default? Now, first of all, to know that I need to give display as flex. Now, what do I mean by flex direction? Flex direction means the way in which my children elements are, the way in which my children elements are placed. By default, they are placed as a row, right? So left to right. Now, if I give align items center, what is happening? They are centered vertically. So all the elements are centered at the vertical center point, that is here. But if I give the flex dash direction to be row, okay, so it's row now. Sorry, column. If I give it as a column, that is all the elements are placed like this, and then I give align items center, what is happening? What happened? They're supposed to come here, right? They're supposed to come at the horizontal, I mean, at the vertical center point, that is here. But they're here. What happened? This is the work of justify content, not align items, right? Why? Now I'll tell you the actual way Flex works. The actual property that uh, align items edits is the main axis. Oh, sorry. No, not the main axis. This is the secondary axis, I guess. Wait. So if I gave a column and I say center column, so it's going to be like this. This is the secondary axis. Okay. So this is the secondary axis, and justify dash content edits something known as a main axis. Now, you know x-axis and y-axis, but what is secondary axis and main axis? So see, this is our just draw arrows like this, man. Much more convenient. And then we're going to have something like this. Okay. Now, what is the default flex direction? Default flex direction. According to this, main axis and secondary axis will change. Okay. Will change to what? Yeah, they'll change to the following. If the default axis is row, that is, if it is a row, then the main axis will become what? It will become justify means it will become the x axis. Okay. And then this will become y. Okay. And it will be like exactly inverted y, and this will become x. Okay. So if the default flex direction is row, the main axis will become x, this one. And the secondary axis will become s. Okay. Yeah, I need to duplicate this and make this column. Yeah. Okay. So you might want to take a screenshot of this because this is like important information. So now what I'll tell you is I'll explain what this table means because it doesn't make sense. Now, when your flex direction is row, your justify content will edit main axis, that is the x axis. Let's see. Now, if I say flex direction is row and I say justify content center, what is happening? It is editing my center axis, that is this axis. Okay, in this axis they're at center. Okay, and what is my secondary axis? Y. Now, if I say align items here instead, align items, what is happening? They are centered on this axis, that is a y axis, right? So y axis is the secondary axis. Align item will edit the secondary axis always, not x or y. Okay, at first I told you x or y because that is much simpler to understand, but in reality it is editing something known as a secondary axis. Okay, and justify content will edit the main axis. What is the main axis? Main axis will change depending on our flex direction. Okay, not default flex direction, it doesn't make sense, but yeah. Okay, if our flex direction is row, main axis is x and secondary axis is y. If my flex direction is column, then the main axis is y and s axis is x. That is the secondary axis is x. If I go to column now, what you'll see is yeah, wait, sorry. Now, what is align items editing? Align items is the secondary axis. Secondary axis is supposed to be this now, x. So it is actually editing the x axis, right? So this 5 divs are centered according to the x axis. So I hope everybody understood this, guys. Did you understand the concept of main axis and secondary axis? Uh, guys. Okay. So and the next thing I wanted to cover is something known as a gap element. Okay. Gap can be 5, for example. I go here and reload. Okay. Yeah. Okay, forget that. I didn't try that. Okay, you guys try and research on Gap. I forgot how to use that. Okay, guys. So you guys remember your task, right? So the task is to perfectly or as closely as possible replicate the Nestle.com. Okay, website and all the pages. Okay, not just the home page. I'll give your assignment again, guys. Your holiday assignment is this: replicate the website as closely as possible. You have to replicate all the web pages in this and share a link of the posted uh, website. Phone users can share the dev link from Replit. I already taught you how to do this. Do this and extra marks for good code practices. If you hosted on GitHub, add me as a collaborator to the repo, and I'll actually share a YouTube video link for that. How to add collaborators. No. Yeah. This guy. Okay, you guys just wait a minute. I'll get this. Mm, yeah, copy link. I'll paste that link here. Yeah, okay, done. Your uh, deadline for this assignment is the 20th of this month. Okay, guys. So I gave you an assignment and you're supposed to complete it and submit as a link. Okay. If you're done before itself, you can text me, or if you have any doubts, you can ask me now or text me. Okay. Yeah. So that's it for today. If you have any doubts, you can ask me or you can leave the class. Uh, okay. Does anybody have any doubts, guys? If no, I'll end the meeting for everybody. If you do, please speak up. Added you to collaborations yesterday. No, not that GitHub repo. If you have a new GitHub repo for that, okay, for this project, you'll create a new GitHub repo, right? Yeah, that also I need to mention. For this project, create a new GitHub repo. Yeah, so you'll have to create a new GitHub repo and add me as a collaborator to that. Okay. No, I have problem using my. Do one thing, create a new GitHub account. Okay, that is the best option that I see because it's working in local, but it's not working on GitHub and stuff. So use a new GitHub account. That is the best thing you can do. Okay. Yeah, if that also doesn't work, we'll see what to do. Okay. Okay, that's it, guys. Bye.